Chapter 5. I was all over him. The next morning, I stood up slowly. My back hurt from sleeping on the bathroom floor. My neck hurt too. Everything hurt. I grabbed my phone from my backpack and pressed the power button. Dead, of course. I shoved it back into my bag and looked down at myself. Same clothes from yesterday. Wrinkled. Heavy. They smelled like the bathroom. My stomach twisted. I pushed the door open carefully. Sunlight hit me too fast. I squinted. "Roman!" I froze immediately. Nathan, he was walking toward me fast across the playground. My chest tightened instantly. Too late to turn around now. "Roman," he said again when he got closer. Quieter this time. "What?" I muttered. Nathan looked me over slowly, not judging, just taking everything in. The same clothes, the backpack, the exhaustion on my face. His jaw tightened slightly. "You slept in there, didn't you?" he asked. "No," I answered automatically. Nathan tilted his head. I sighed tiredly. "I just stayed there for the night." "That's the same thing." I looked away. Nathan rubbed the back of his neck and glanced toward the bathroom, then back at me. "Did she kick you out, Roman?" I hesitated. Then I shrugged. "I left." Nathan stared at me for a second like he wanted to argue about the difference, but he didn't. Instead, he nodded slowly. "Aight." Silence sat between us awkwardly. A breeze pushed through the empty playground. The swings creaked softly beside us. Nathan shoved his hands into his hoodie pocket. "You can't stay out here, Roman." "I'm fine," I said, adjusting my foot. "You're not," he replied, raising an eyebrow. I sighed heavily. "Nathan, please don't start." "I'm not starting nothing," he said calmly. "I'm being serious." I looked away again. People walked toward the school in the distance. Normal people. Normal lives. Nathan glanced toward the parking lot, then back at me. "My pops is doing a delivery run to Tennessee," he said. "He's gone for a couple days." I frowned slightly. So, it's just me at the house." I already knew where this was going. "No." Nathan blinked. I didn't even say anything yet. "You were about to ask me to stay with you." "Yeah," he said simply. I also said no, I replied glumly. Nathan stared at me for a second, then sighed through his nose. "Roman." "I don't need your pity," I interrupted. Something shifted in his face immediately. "That's not what this is." He stepped closer, close enough that I had to look up slightly to meet his eyes. "I'm out here because I care about you, bro. I think it's fucked up how the world is treating you. Let me in." I stayed quiet. "I'm just tired," I muttered. "I know," he said. "Bro, anyone would be." His voice softened on those words. "You can stay at my house," he said again, quieter this time. "Aight?" I stared at the ground. Part of me wanted to say yes immediately. Another part wanted to run. I didn't want to mess his life up with my issues. Everything I touched died. My environment, toxic. But being around Nathan made me feel things I wasn't supposed to feel. "Just for a little while," I said finally. Nathan nodded once. "Cool." Then he added quickly, "And don't make it weird." That made me laugh weakly under my breath. "Shut up." "There you go," he smirked slightly. "You're finally acting alive again." I rolled my eyes, but for the first time in 2 days, I felt a little less empty. Nathan's house was quiet. I stood awkwardly near the front door while he tossed his backpack down. He was supposed to be in school, yet he was here with me. "Come in," he said. I stepped further inside. Slowly, Nathan lifted his arms and pulled his gray hoodie over his head, the fabric dragging up his torso before he tossed it toward me. "Put that on." I caught it without thinking. For a second, I didn't move. He stood there in just a T-shirt now, stretched slightly across his chest and shoulders. I looked away before it looked like I was staring. The hoodie smelled like laundry detergent and him. That made something in my chest tighten. I pulled it over my head anyway. It swallowed me slightly. Nathan noticed. A tiny smile pulled at the corner of his mouth. "Damn," he laughed quietly. "You small as hell." "Shut up," I blushed. "Nah, seriously," he grinned. "You built like a middle schooler." I rolled my eyes again and sat carefully on the edge of the couch. Nathan moved around the kitchen pretending to act normal, but I could feel it. The weirdness? Not bad weirdness, just awareness. Like suddenly, we both noticed how alone we were in the house together. Nathan opened the fridge. "You hungry?" I shrugged. A few minutes later, he handed me a plate with a turkey sandwich sitting neatly on it. "Eat." I stared at it for a second, then took it. Didn't even realize how hungry I was until the first bite. Nathan watched me quietly from the kitchen counter. "You eat anything yesterday?" I looked away. Nathan sighed softly but didn't push anymore. Instead, he grabbed the game controller. "You want to play 2K or something?" "Nah," I answered softly. "Aight." Then he sat beside me on the couch. Not too close, but not far either. Just enough space to mean nothing. Nathan grabbed the remote and turned the TV on. "This is what I watch when I'm sad," he said. Family Guy started playing. I stared at the screen without really seeing it. "What do you have to be sad about?" I muttered. Nathan glanced over at me, then back at the TV. "My mom died having me." The words hit so casually, I almost missed them. I blinked. "What?" Nathan shrugged slightly. "She died during my birth. My dad never really got over it." He added quietly, "That's why he's always on the road." Something heavy settled in my chest. "You never told me that before?" Nathan laughed weakly. "What am I supposed to say? Hey, bro, my mom died before she could hold me?" I looked down at my sandwich. Still, I'm sorry." Nathan didn't answer right away. The TV played quietly in the background. Then, finally, "I'm sorry about your mom, too." I frowned. "What?" He looked over at me now. Actually, looked at me. "The way she treats you, bro," he said quietly, "that ain't normal." My chest tightened instantly. I looked away. "It's whatever." "No," Nathan said immediately. "It's not." Something about how fast he said it made me glance back at him. Nathan's expression tightened slightly. "My mom would probably kill to be here with me," he muttered. "And yours has you sleeping in bathrooms." I swallowed hard. "I hate this shit," I admitted quietly. "Being gay," I whispered. The words felt ugly coming out. Nathan looked down at his hands, then back at the TV. I don't think that's the problem. I frowned. Then what is? People. His answer came instantly this time. They make everything bad, including other people. I stared at him. You think I'm a bad person? Nathan paused. Then, quieter, he said, No, and that's why. I don't understand life. That made my chest tighten again. I looked at him carefully now. Really looked. Nathan kept his eyes on the TV, but his jaw looked tense suddenly, like he regretted saying too much. Do you think maybe I am being punished? For being gay? I asked quietly. Silence. Long silence. Then Nathan leaned back slowly against the couch. I don't know, he admitted. Do you think my mom was being punished for having me? I swallowed hard, because no. Then, softer, he said, You deserve a better life, Roman. I almost broke. We stopped talking after that. The TV kept playing quietly, neither of us actually watching it. At some point, I leaned back into the couch fully. My body felt exhausted. Nathan stayed beside me quietly, close enough that our shoulders brushed every now and then. Every time they touched, my chest tightened. Eventually, my head tilted slightly, then rested against his shoulder. I froze immediately, waiting for him to move, push me off, say something. Nathan tensed underneath me, but he didn't move away. The room felt suddenly warm, quiet. I could hear his heartbeat faintly. It was slow, heavy. My breathing slowed little by little. Nathan barely moved, like he was scared to ruin the moment. I was tired of fighting myself, tired of pretending I didn't want somebody close to me. Nathan swallowed hard. You can stay, bro, he muttered softly. You keep saying that. 'Cause you look dead. I laughed quietly. Nathan smiled a little at that, and somehow that made everything worse. Because now I wanted more. I lifted my head slowly from his shoulder. Nathan looked down at me. His eyes flickered to my mouth for half a second, then away, then back again. My heart started beating harder. Neither of us moved, but neither of us pulled away either. Nathan, I whispered. The way his name came out barely sounded like me. Nathan looked terrified suddenly, like he was standing at the edge of something. Then quietly, almost like he couldn't stop himself, he leaned down and kissed me. Soft, quick. My entire chest flipped violently. Nathan froze, too. Not panicked, just still, like neither of us knew what to do next. The room stayed quiet, except for the TV playing softly in the background. Neither of us spoke. I stared down at my hands, my heart beating so hard it almost hurt. I should have said something, anything, but my brain felt empty. Nathan leaned forward, elbows resting on his knees. His face looked tense now. I never did that before, he admitted quietly. I looked over at him. He laughed weakly under his breath like he was trying to make the moment less serious. That probably sounds crazy. I didn't answer because, honestly, I didn't know what to say either. Nathan rubbed his hands together slowly, then looked at me. You okay? The fact he asked that after kissing me somehow made my chest ache worse. Yeah, I lied. Nathan nodded slightly, but he looked like he knew I was lying. Silence stretched between us again, but it felt different now, heavier, closer. Nathan leaned back against the couch finally and let out a long breath. "I don't know what that was," he admitted. "I'm sorry." The words hurt a little, but not enough to make me leave, because I knew he wasn't trying to hurt me. He genuinely didn't understand himself. "I know," I said quietly. Nathan looked over at me slowly. Then, after a second, he patted the couch beside him lightly. "I hope you can still stay," he muttered. I hesitated, then scooted closer beside him. Not as much space between us this time. The TV kept playing quietly. Neither of us watched it. Eventually, Nathan grabbed the blanket off the back of the couch and tossed half of it over me. "You feel cold as hell," he muttered. I almost smiled. We sat there in silence for a while longer. Then, little by little, without really meaning to, we drifted closer again. My shoulder touched his first, then stayed there. Nathan didn't move away. After a while, his arm rested along the back of the couch behind me. Not fully around me, but close enough that I could feel the warmth from him. I couldn't remember the last time somebody made me feel safe. The show kept changing scenes, flashing light across the room. At some point, my eyes started closing again. Nathan noticed immediately. Then eventually, very carefully, he pulled the blanket a little higher around me, like he thought I was asleep already. Nobody had taken care of me like this in a very long time. I stayed still. Nathan's breathing slowly evened out beside me, and somewhere in the quiet darkness of his living room, the space between us stopped feeling accidental.